of the UFC. Anthony Smith, 31. Glover Teixeira is 40. Smith, the taller man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Florida State Athletic Commission. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are David Torelli, Chris Lee, and Sal D'Amato. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Jason Herzog. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 13 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, by way of Sobralia, Minas Gerais, Brazil, presenting the number 8 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Glover Teixeira! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 32 wins, 14 losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, presenting the number 4 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Anthony Lionheart Smith!
Get on that stick earlier.
Anthony. Okay, fighters, gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come on, ready to fight.
The tension, the anticipation of a UFC main event, championship or otherwise, DC. I'm anxious.
Like it. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. You can feel the intensity from the fighters and everybody in attendance, all 50 of us. I'm so excited for this fight.
All right, tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC.
Oh.
Anthony Smith starting early in black, Glover Teixeira's in yellow.
Ooh, nice kick by Anthony Smith.
Smith working off that jab effectively here early.
And I heard James Krause say that as he was leaving the cage before they started the fight. Get on that stick early.
Hey, watch the finish, man. Circle to the middle, please. Circle to the middle, please. Yeah, back to center, Anthony. Beautiful work, Anthony Smith. I love it. Nice check.
Teixeira just out of range with that offering. Glover looks great physically this week.
Yeah, but you can see the speed difference already between Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira. Glover needs to close the distance and try to get to his legs. Try to get a takedown to slow Anthony Smith down.
Beautiful! Back to what I'm talking about, baby.
Smith continuing to pump that jab 1 minute in.
Beautiful right hand.
Beautiful. Hey, fake the 6 and go low rider. Hey, get back to center first. Get back to center. Get that, hey, use that stick to get back to the middle.
Smith a 2-1 favorite to share the plus 160 underdog tonight. Smith very measured on the feet early. Right hand got through.
If Glover's head ever stops moving, Anthony Smith lets the right hand fly. Glover's got to get the head moving in advance as he's approaching. He can't let that head sit still.
You see Glover trying to pressure forward to get Anthony back towards that cage, but Anthony doing a beautiful job of circling out and then going to the jab. Very active, going with the leg kicks, mixing things up. There we go. Now Glover gets some shots off, but Anthony comes right back.
Shot from Teixeira. Smith able to stay upright. 2 minutes gone by, round 1.
Back to the stick and back to the low rider. You see the range, bro. You see the range.
Work your jab, Glover.
Hey, you need space. Let's go, five.
Good connection by Texeira. Smith circles out. Both guys with a lot of main event and championship experience. Jason Herzog breaks up the action here due to an inadvertent groin strike, I believe.
Hey, Jason Herzog gets the work in, man. I see him all the time in that gym downstairs. He's working. Herzog doesn't take a day off.
That's right.
No days off for Jason Herzog. I see him every day.
It makes me feel bad every time I'm on the treadmill.
And he runs hard, too. Dude gets to work.
What are we doing here?
The one thing
Wanna move
about
around a
Anthony
little
Smith
bit?
to this point,
You want to move around?
the
a
one
little?
thing to this point
Got a little
is he
time.
has not stopped, right? Every second he's
Accidental
throwing something,
shot.
a
Yeah.
jab, punch. He's got to be in great shape if he's going to keep this up over 25 minutes.
And mixing it up all over, using kicks.
Yeah.
And as we know, the more of them you throw, that power bar starts to go down.
yes.
Unless you've got the capacity
Yeah.
to do it.
Just walk around a little. See how it goes, huh?
This was a punch low.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see a knee or anything like that, but
It looked like maybe Glover was trying to throw his body shot. I'd like to see the punch that straight a little low.
Walk around a little bit, huh?
It looked like when he got Anthony along the side of the octagon, he started to let his hands go, and one of them went a little bit low. Okay, here we go.
How you feeling there? A couple more seconds? Ready to go? You got it. Yeah, you got it. Okay. Just a couple seconds. Be ready to go. Keep ready.
Smith wisely taking his time.
Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah? Ready?
hook
That
to the
was
cup.
a very low body punch.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hey, you got to re-rock. He's going to look to fit into.
All right, we'll see if Smith can get back to it here.
Big
Oh,
right
man,
hand.
big right hand. by
And he
Anthony
set that up by pumping that jab out.
Take that body and then go stick again. Just like that. That's your range right there. That's your range. This is jab in. Back to the center, baby.
It's so interesting to listen to the difference in the corners, right?
Stick six.
Smith's corner is wall to wall. There's no stop.
Weave that now.
Corner Texeira kind of lets him work, lets him go to work on his own, and they trust him.
John Hackelman, George Guimaraes, Fernelli Feliz among those.
Very good kicks
instructing
there.
Texeira.
Thank you. Stay straight though. Stay straight for now.
Man, beautiful work there from Anthony Smith.
Mixing it up.
Stay straight.
But if you pay close attention, Anthony's landing those shots, but Texeira's kind of rolling with a lot of those.
16 here. 16 here.
If you take those shots clean from a big guy like Anthony Smith, you normally will go down. Texeira's rolling right now.
Texeira fearless in that pocket as usual. Being kept at bay by those long kicks from Smith.
And that jab, man. He throws that jab, and he pumps the jab out halfway, and he lets it fly.
Keep that right hand tight. From the left. Body. Turn that down. Get that jab. Back to the stick, please. 1-6.
Texeira has yet to commit to a true takedown attempt through 4+ minutes.
I think at this point, Texeira's just trying to give him the idea that don't get too crazy because the wrestling is there.
You haven't missed a jab yet. You're 100% on jabs right now. Stick it. Stay on your jab. Say it. Hey, tell it. Tell it how it is, bro. Stick to 6. Let's go. 1-6. Weave it.
Now they're talking.
I feel like some of these in other fights with the crowd, John, we would have missed that, right? Some of these little You just can't keep him there. He's doing a great job of circling out, but Glover slowly closing that distance. He's landed several leg kicks.
And Glover's just in his face. The whole time just kind of in Anthony's face.
And he ain't going anywhere. 5 minutes down. Round 2 next.
But he's being very, very busy.
Second round. Fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Let's fight.
So interesting trying to pick up some of the conversation.
Yeah.
But again, James Krause keeps barking about that jab.
Yeah, wall to wall. Krause is one of those corners that goes the whole time.
Keep going. You haven't missed yet. Get some intel, Frank. Frank, get some intel. Lower your stance, please. Hey, lower, please.
There's that jab again. Smith lowers the stance on cue. You hear a lot of that when they're training Anthony, too, continuously trying to get him to lower.
Hey, Rock. Hey, weave backside for me. Weave backside hand for me. Thank you. Thank you.
Some nice body shots there from Texeira.
On his pressure, check with elbows and knees. Oh, beautiful poke.
Lead up elbow there from Anthony Smith. A lot of this getting blocked. Glover doing a good job. And he's attacking that lead leg of Anthony.
Yeah, that was heavy.
And if this fight continues to go into the third round, fourth round, that is something that will pay off for him.
Take it to the body if you want. Thank you. Then go 5. Good feet.
Texeira trying to jab his way inside.
Move, center, please.
Smith doing a pretty savvy job defensively.
That kick punches there all day, bud. Beautiful.
Oh, nice uppercut. Ooh.
Hey, stay patient here. Cut him off. Good feet, Anthony Smith. Good feet. Hey, rock him. Anthony, rock him. Please. Hey, you gotta focus here.
Anthony doing a good job, too, of just touching him with some of these shots. You know, he's not loading up and gassing himself out, throwing big bombs or big haymakers. There we go. Now Glover closes that distance. And he gives it up. Gives up that space. He had him where he wanted him for a second there.
I think the corner of Anthony Smith, because they go wall to wall, they don't stop talking, it makes their fighter just go. He's so active right now. And if it could work out. But if this fight goes long, then all that activity, because it's almost a panic over there.
Yeah, some serious output from Anthony Smith early, no doubt about it.
Because he's going so hard because his corner is going so hard. And Glover Texeira is still just kind of moving and rolling.
And that's now the 4th time Jason Herzog has softly warned Anthony Smith to have those fingers extending upright and not directly at the opponent.
What are the total strikes thrown by Anthony Smith and Glover Texeira?
Our Smith numbers are down, so I'll have to get back to you.
Okay.
Ooh, nice right hand there. Oh, and Glover's left eye.
Did that just shut?
Very close.
Oh, that's his lead eye, John. That's not good.
It swelled up immediately. Oh! Back against the fence. Smith covers up.
He's in trouble.
Glover Texeira.
Oh, big punches from Glover. Just when we talk about that eye, he starts landing clean, big, powerful shots.
Bro, Anthony Smith is slowing down.
Ooh. Nice body work there from Glover.
Anthony Smith is slowing down, John. Starting to breathe a little heavy and very early in the fight.
Ooh. A little bit of a wayward knee there from Smith. But right, his body language not ideal here with about a minute to go in round 2. Texeira goes high.
They're in the second round, bro.
Big left.
Yeah, DC, that's pace. To keep that kind of pace for a 25-minute fight.
I really do believe. I really do believe it was maybe, you know, and Anthony's still fighting well, but it may have been a little bit of a maybe he can get Glover out of there early.
Yep.
And then honestly, you know, it's a lot of instruction.
Yes.
As an athlete, I don't like when my corner does that, and I think James Krause and those guys are phenomenal. But I mean, this pace that Anthony has kept is crazy.
Especially when you can hear every command, right? You wonder how much is instinct and how much is just trying to execute every imperative that's coming from James. Ooh.
Oh, another left hook from Glover. This is where Anthony's getting in trouble, is when he gets that back foot up against the octagon wall.
Oh, that body.
Nice spinning back kick there from Glover.
And Glover just didn't do as much early. Oh, nice jab by Anthony there. Texeira's eyes. I mean, right away the eye starts to swell. And then boom, big right hand, left hook by Glover Texeira. And then the high kick follows as Anthony's trying to evade. I mean, this is a close round. And Glover Teixeira had to feel pretty good at the end of the round, looking at the body language of Anthony Smith and also the work he was able to get done as the round went longer.
Absolutely. Yeah, he really turned the tide there in that round.
Round 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. The legendary cut man Don House trying to work on that swelling under the left eye of Glover Teixeira, but this fight all of a sudden wicked interesting. We'll see if Anthony Smith can scale back on the power as instructed.
Keep coming forward. Keep pressing forward. Keep your fingers up. Hand on your head. Kick him. Kick. Kick. Keep it along.
That was a big body kick there. Anthony Smith caught it, and we talked about the jiu-jitsu game of both these guys, and right back up to the feet.
And honestly, both of these guys are starting to breathe a little heavy. Neither one of them wants to get in an extended wrestling situation right now.
Oh, yeah, he's got to watch his fingers. He's slowing down.
That was a punch. You heard him.
You got to defend yourself if you're Smith. It was ruled a punch.
Yep. It looked like a punch. It looked like a punch by Teixeira.
Oh, my goodness.
Put Smith down face first. Jason Herzog giving him every chance to stay in this fight.
Oh, my goodness, Jason Herzog. If you're Glover, you just start punching here.
Yeah, I was going to say, DC, why go for the submission?
Oh, man. Anthony Smith was hurt bad.
Teixeira could be one clean land away.
I think he wants
from his 4th
John.
straight win.
Anthony Smith's tired. He's getting beat up. He's got to move. Glover's going to flatten him out here.
Oh, that's trouble.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, big elbow there from Glover as well.
Oh, right hand.
This is a terrible position for Anthony Smith. Glover always trying to tie up that arm.
And he's full mount. Gets the side of the octagon. But look, Anthony's fighting, man. Anthony's moving.
Under 3 minutes here, round 3. Smith is completely mounted.
Yeah, lots of time here for Glover to work.
Oh, Anthony.
Whoa! Smith rolls out.
But I don't necessarily know if this is a good thing for Anthony Smith getting back to his feet right now. But he has to change something.
Amazing that Smith has survived this long, certainly being extended a long leash by the referee. Teixeira continues to apply suffocating pressure, trying to crack here maybe a little bit.
And now look at Anthony trying to take a couple deep breaths to gather himself and come back.
DC, just imagine if we had a crowd in here right now after all that
was a clean
crazy in here.
That was an uppercut by Glover Teixeira.
Yeah, clean shot.
Yeah, clean shot.
Nice job from Herzog to recognize that and not stop that fight, because that would be unfortunate for Glover Teixeira, who landed a clean shot, to have that taken away from him. That's what's so tough, you know, to see these eye pokes or not see them. This is trouble for Anthony Smith here, to have Glover on your back just pounding away with these shots.
And Glover's got his wrist on the far side.
He's looking to put that hook in.
And that's where the control's coming from. I mean, Herzog is giving him a ton of time.
Teixeira unable to get underneath that chin, but just continues to land big shots here.
I mean, taking big shots.
Yeah.
And if you're starting to get fatigued, this does not help going into the next round.
No, to have him wearing on you, just sitting on your back, punching you in the face.
And Glover's big, and he's tough, and he's durable.
Smith has survived half a round of this. We'll see if he can survive this final minute. Looks like his cauliflower ear got busted open by one of those shots.
Yeah. He's surviving, though. He might make it to this.
Oh, my goodness.
Just as I say that.
Oh, no. Now Glover's starting to slide that arm. Anthony Smith is doing a really good job of staying calm, staying patient, staying relaxed. Every time Glover tries to attack choke, Anthony does a good job of trying to just relax himself, attack the defense. He's doing well.
Smith is a very hard guy to submit.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, no shortage of offense from Glover Teixeira, but he hasn't landed that shot that has resulted in a stoppage. And it looks as though Smith might survive and advance to round 4.
Big elbow.
Wow.
Big heart by Anthony.
Hey, sit for me. Sit for me.
What about that?
Anthony, do you want to
Look at his eye right here, please.
All right, he's good. Let him
He's
go
good?
there.
All right. You gotta keep defending yourself. Turn around. Over there. Scoot back.
All right, well, Anthony Smith is going to have to lean on that lion heart tonight. Glover Teixeira with at least a 10-8 in round 3. 10 minutes to go. Oh! Huge uppercut from Glover. Smith on the retreat. The referee watching things closely now.
Glover's got some technical skills, man. Look at that.
Defend yourself.
Oh, man, Anthony Smith is just throwing anything now. Oh, nice elbow
I was
by
waiting for
Smith.
those elbows from Smith.
Glover doing a pretty nice job staying disciplined, picking his shots. Smith firing offense.
He's not quitting on himself, man.
Oh!
He's still moving forward.
Oh, big left from Smith. Oh!
God.
Don't want to eat too many more of those. Smith covering up. This could do it.
Glover sprawl. Glover's going to sprawl and try to take the corner, take Anthony Smith's back, and just start letting punches fly.
Now Smith is really leaking.
Oh, yeah, he's busted open.
I think this might have been his last big effort to try to extend Glover Teixeira. But now he's beaten, he's bruised, and he's in trouble, man. And Glover will not relent off of him. Glover will continue to keep getting after you.
Anthony Smith hasn't been submitted since 2013.
You heard the corner of Teixeira saying he's giving up, Glover.
What?
Yeah, it is what it is, buddy.
What are they saying to each other?
I didn't pick it up.
Glover Teixeira is trying to catch Anthony Smith's left arm, and then with his right hand, he's just going to start punching. But as long as he can keep Anthony's wrist, he's going to be in. Okay, I don't know why he's trying to attack submissions here. He should be punching, trying to find the finish.
He's down to not knee him in the
Or get posture right here.
Probably wise if you're Teixeira to let Smith back to his feet.
I think so, yeah. He's had beautiful success with his boxing, especially that rear uppercut.
Oh,
Everything that lands. Everything that.
You can never count Anthony Smith out as long as he's on his feet.
But he's pausing. He's pausing Anthony Smith now. Everything that Glover lands pauses Anthony Smith. Like at that.
Yes.
Jab lands, pause. Right hand lands, pause. Anthony always has, look, has to take a step.
Oh, man,
Smith
Anthony
landed
is
a big
still...
right.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Teixeira goes for a takedown. Not much resistance, obviously, from Anthony Smith. What do you guys think about that decision?
I just think that because Anthony's still so dangerous, right? Anthony's tired. He's battered, he's beaten. But every time Glover enters, Anthony throws something hard back at him. He's not giving up on himself. But I mean, my goodness, what a performance by Glover Teixeira.
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't... I mean, who am I to tell Glover Teixeira what he should do? But he's got him so hurt on the feet.
Yeah.
He's landing so successfully and just crushing him. Why would you shoot a double leg?
Yeah, but at this point right here, right?
Well, you do that, then it might change my mind.
If he just postures up right here and just lets some stuff go,
He's got it, right? He's just got to go for it.
I think Herzog is going to stop the fight.
I don't even think it's got to be that hard, right?
No,
if he
he
just
postures up and
keeps
lets
continuing with the shots.
We got less than 90. We got less than 90. Anthony, fundamentals. Get your frames in and let's start working.
Man, Anthony Smith barely recognizable, certainly living up to that Lionheart moniker, but 42 strikes have already landed for Glover here through 4 minutes of round 4.
Man, how this fight has shifted, right? Anthony Smith comes out looking so sharp.
Listen, man, I'm telling you, you cannot, in this environment with no crowd, you cannot be just yelling at your fighter constant from the start of the fight to however long it's going, because they're going to do what you tell them. There's no crowd to override them. So when you're going wall to wall like that and you're yelling, 1, 2, guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, your fighter's going to follow you. Yeah, he's going to follow your instructions, and then he starts to wear down.
Yeah. I mean, what is everything that we've talked about leading up to this fight with Glover Teixeira was his ability to overcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Right hook is strong.
Boom. Here you go again with this guy.
Man. You know, that's a trend, and he has continued it tonight.
That's a trend you want to have in
And
your
you're
career.
looking, hey, honestly, if you're Glover Teixeira, you're looking at 2 10-8 rounds right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Final 10 seconds of the round. Remarkably, Anthony Smith.
I mean, you're 2 10-8 rounds back-to-back for Glover Teixeira.
I think it might be stopped in between rounds.
What a main event thus far through 20 minutes. Next level toughness from Smith. And Teixeira's corner, I mean, Duke Rufus, your chief corner, he's stopped fights before. I mean, do you think there's any obligation to the corner, or do you think Anthony Smith's okay?
No, I don't think he's okay. And I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that something can't happen, but you got to take a look at the guy. You got to look at the eyes of your fighter and the mentality. Yeah. Do they want to go back in there?
And save him. Save your fighter from going out there and getting finished. Look at this.
If I tell you my teeth are falling out, do I want to go back?
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right? So look at Anthony Smith's posture. Now, instead of them stopping the fight, why do you let your guy go out there and get finished?
Right.
You know, save it.
And now you start to think about this appreciable damage and the lasting effect, right? Might have to absorb another 4+ minutes here.
You're talking about a guy in Anthony Smith who has gone through
He's
a lot.
He's not going to quit. He's not going to do it for you.
And he's going through a lot recently, right? He's going through a lot with the home intruder and everything. Went out here, main event spot, and you know, he's dealing with a lot. But now look at this, though, right? You could have stopped the fight on the stool problem. And you save your fighter from going out there and getting finished, and also the damage, like you said, Paul.
Yeah, now
nice slice to mount. This could very well be it.
Yeah, it was foregone. Like this.
Mercifully, it's over. Another one bites the dust, and the winning streak for Glover Teixeira, remarkably, is 4. A lot of respect between these two combatants.